are live. Okay, how does this go?
I don't know if you can say that we're live on a recorded medium.
No, we're hot. We're all on hot mics.
I'm live with my new book that I wrote 2 years ago.
No one have too hot of takes. No one break kayfabe. Andrew, keep that Southern accent on lock. We can't let people know.
Wait, am I supposed to keep my Southern accent going so that they don't know that I'm not from the South, or am I supposed to keep it locked away so people don't know that I am from the South?
I mean, you're not from the South. So, no, why would you have a Southern accent? We can't let people know the Voluntary Viewing podcast, coming to them on July 10th, 2023, episode 225, have been lying to them for 224 episodes.
No offense to our podcast, but if we were playing characters this whole time and we are the people that we chose as characters, three white dudes who met in college in Madison, Wisconsin, and then moved around the country.
No, you don't understand.
Jesus.
My character has tummy problems.
Yeah. You don't get it. We like the Green Bay Packers.
All of us to varying degrees.
Yeah.
We spend an inordinate amount of time in our short lives on Earth focusing on fantasy football.
We don't know that. We don't know it's short.
No, we don't.
Yeah, I got a few hundred years in the tank.
Yeah.
We're ready.
Yeah, I think you mean short so far.
Yeah.
Oh. Of our 25 years, we have spent an inordinate amount on.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're all 25, right? I just said 25 and then didn't realize how sad that is.
Oh, Ryan.
Yeah, my brain.
I don't know. I'm Lucas the writer. I'm drinking red wine that pairs perfectly with this podcast that I got for my 28th birthday. And I can't complain right now.
You're doxing yourself. How many Lucas deriders are there out there? You've just
What's your mother's maiden name?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just on the internet. People have asked me out through Twitter DMs. People have sent harassing messages to my phone number. Whatever.
Now that you've shown face more with the Twitch live streams,
yeah,
is that ticked up or down or no real difference?
That's about the same. I got one out in the wild at Anime Expo. Someone was like, "Hey, are you on wikis? Are you on wiki videos?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they were like, "Oh, cool. You should work on the formatting of this one very niche wiki that had 600 page views in the course of a month." And I was like, "Okay, cool. I'll take that under consideration. Thank you for letting us know."
Yeah, no, genuinely, that's what I'm here for.
Yeah,
conversations like this.
Job.
Yeah, sure, it may be very specific and not really necessary, but that is genuinely why I am here. So I appreciate it.
If this haven't had a chance to look into it yet. If this turns out to be part of a systemic issue, then no, great conversation here. Yeah,
it was it is at the bottom of my to-do list, but at some point, get around to it.
I spent all of the week after Anime Expo following up on Anime Expo. No, that's a tomorrow job. That and posting shit that I did there on LinkedIn, because I talked to somebody and apparently LinkedIn is more important to people's careers than what I've come to realize. So I think I have to give a shit about that.
I've realized that in the last couple of weeks too. I hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't you guys, wouldn't you rather die though than use LinkedIn unironically?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I mean. I'm not going to use it. I'm not going to be a LinkedIn user. That puts me behind the 8 ball, and I hate it.
Nah, it makes you cool. There's two types of people who use LinkedIn at my company. There are the people that are fucking power users and everyone thinks they're lame, and then there's the people that are on there with nothing, literally just their titles and the time that they worked at that job, and that's it. And it's yeah, we're the cool ones.
I've never made a LinkedIn post.
Yeah, me neither.
I think I commented a handful of times, like when
Ooh.
someone reached like a big milestone or like got promoted into a big job and I actually knew who they were and I said congratulations.
No, that's
That's
cringe,
it.
fam.
Oh,
You got to get
cool.
off
Okay, I'll
platform
kill
for that.
myself.
Yeah, any LinkedIn interaction is cringe. You gotta take it to the DMs somewhere. I have had like stuff go through LinkedIn DMs, so I guess I don't know if that counts. But sometimes you don't have any other way to contact some people.
I'm posting on LinkedIn, and my only hot take there so far is that, wow, the ability to upload video there, surprisingly robust for any social media platform. Like
Yeah,
LinkedIn
how else are you gonna put
LinkedIn's
your
posts
weird
videos.
story about
Yeah.
like the dog versus the wolf and the dog leading the other dogs to the penguin carcass where the wolf keeps all the others away and eats the penguin for themselves and that's the difference between a good leader and just a boss and also the penguin was the one that was interviewing you for the
yeah.
job and
Those are my favorite.
I found
It's
out
like,
about
oh,
suicidal penguins yesterday. Shit's
on
bleak.
LinkedIn?
Actually on TikTok. Come
Nah.
on, that's TikTok.
Suicidal penguins on LinkedIn. And the penguin is productivity and it's killing itself because we're not being
in the
synergistic.
office.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not collaborating enough and contributing to our company culture. Yeah. No, that's more accurate. I don't know. For me, it's always like a recruiter that's like, here's their top 10 tips for how to get your resume noticed by and it's like, God, how do you wake up and make that type of content? Like, I think of like King Bach. Did you see he's trying to make it a comeback on Threads?
No.
The guy from Vine, the really, really cringy guy from Vine trying to make a comeback on Threads. I think of that kind of content, like the cringiest, awful comedy content ever. At least you can like hold your head high. And we're like, you know what? I tried to entertain people and it sucked, but that's okay. Imagine making like grind set, like, here's how you get ahead in your career type content, like for sad people, like with bad motivations. I don't know.
Yeah, at the end of the day, if you make something that's like an AI could never make this, credit to you.
Yeah. Miranda
Yeah,
sings, we
that's
see
human
you.
of you. That's a good thing.
Colleen Ballinger, Miranda sings,
Uh,
we see you. You're making real content. You play that ukulele.
I'm not a groomer. I'm just a loser.
I legitimately
would never.
I got Streisand affected because of that. I had never heard of that human being.
No, yeah. Jade had to
until she
explain
put
the whole
out that
thing to me.
video and is like, okay. So
you guys never
she's
saw
a
Miranda
groomer?
sing?
No.
When
she was
Jade
on like
showed
Fallon and shit. Like she went mainstream.
when Jade showed me who she was and like the weird like
The makeup,
lipstick
yeah.
shit that she would do, like I recognized the face and I assumed that I had seen her on Vine or some shit. But like I didn't know who she was or what her shtick was.
I never watched a single video. The only times I saw her was when she broke through to like mainstream bullshit, like late night talk shows or something. And I was like, this is awful. This is like Fred level bad. Like, how did this go mainstream?
That's why her viewership is all entirely made out of kids. Which is why she has access to kids in her DMs.
That's what soured me. Like coming out of college and in college, I guess, on any kind of career in YouTube or like independent content creation, because everyone's huge there. Like they're big on the backs of like tweens, and they're
the people with time. YouTube at the end of the day is more of a time suck than a TikTok or an Instagram. Like you gotta have time, man.
I just don't want that to be my audience. I don't want like me to, man, what is a 12-year-old going to think of this thing that I made? I don't want to spend any energy on that.
It was the old feud from the Rooster Teeth sub companies, like the Funhouse versus Achievement Hunter feud, where like Achievement Hunter would brag about their sub count, and then Funhouse would be like, "Oh, how about those 12-year-olds, huh?" Like, because Funhouse made shorter form content. Like Achievement Hunter would put up full unedited 50-minute Let's Plays, and like if you're an adult with a job, you cannot watch that. That is prohibitively long, whereas Funhouse would cut it down to like 10, 12 minutes. So that was the old bit. And then the achievement hunter guy, one of them, ended up being a bit of a predator. So shocker, like here we are.
Well, so did one of the Funhouse people, but in a different way. Not a predator.
I don't think he was anyone was underage for Adam Kovic, right?
I think the person that like catfished him was pretending to be underage.
Really?
I thought that was the whole thing. Or
no.
I thought
it was just that he was at work,
not like
I don't think they were underage at
sorry.
all. I think it was full blown like just getting him to do shit at work and everything, and maybe the videos taken without his significant other's permission and everything was the downfall. But I might be misremembering.
But that sexual thrill of coming on a keyboard
sexual thrill of completely ruining your own life and making the lives of people that are close to you worse.
Worse, yeah. Just torpedoing everything.
Not also on the podcast today, what does not kill him makes him stronger. Unless some legal proceedings go through, in which case our boy is weak as shit now. Ryan Holtz.
Wait, what legal proceedings? Now I know. I know what you're referencing. No, there's no such thing, man. That's such bullshit. That what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. That's again like weird grind set, like nah, man, like that's just scars. That's what makes you good. And it's like, no, scars are bad, dude. Like, I'm not saying that all of us should strive to live like conflict-free lives where we just eat fucking saltine crackers all day long. But like, no, man, there's such a thing as damage, and it's not good. Like, we can stop pretending that that's what makes us good. I don't know. Weird shit.
I want to get the word damage tattooed on your forehead and then own it.
It's all tied into like this weird individualistic pull you up by your bootstraps bullshit. Like, nah, if you had a rough life, that's good.
Yeah, I have suffered, therefore I have lived.
Yeah. I don't know. No one should go through what I went through. It's bullshit. It sucks. Wouldn't wish it on literally my worst enemy. Like, there's people out there that deserve to die, but we can just kill them. we don't have to put them through what I went through. That's all right. That's chill.
No, that's what the CIA is going to be doing from now on. They're going to have like a guy in an interrogation room. He's like, "What are you going to do? Waterboard me? Pull out my toenails?" Nah, we got the Ryan Holtz special planned for you.
We're gonna rip out that appendix, baby,
with a dirty knife.
And we're gonna like gaslight you into thinking that you're all better, even though you're pretty damn sure you're not better, and like let you go from the torture cell, and then you have to come back to us to get treated again because something's really fucked up. It's great. I'm surprised.
Starved to death over the course of a month.
Yeah, you kind of don't hear about like internal organ manipulation much anymore.
No,
I know that there were some civilizations that would do human sacrifice and stuff that were good at like cutting you open and keeping you alive so that you were conscious through all of it. But like, did we just deem that too fucked up? Like, I don't know. It feels like torture's torture, right? But I guess maybe even like cartels and stuff don't cross that line. I don't know.
Maybe they just think it's too gross. Look, man, I'll cut some hands and feet off, no problem. Yeah. But
I'll decapitate someone with a chainsaw. That's chill. But like, nah, maybe not scalpels. That's too much.
I think you got to do that once. With some kind of documentation to be like, hey, man, this is on the table. Like, we can escalate.
We don't want to do this, but if you make us, we will.
This is Lucas's Annihilation didn't have enough body horror.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. This torture's pretty bad, huh? Well, we've got another level here. There's levels to this.
Hey, man, neither you nor I want to dial this thing up to 11.
Yeah.
The knob goes that far is right. All I'm saying. You can set the decibels whenever you want.
Dude, I got a weak stomach. Like, yeah, I just ripped your toenails out, but like,
this is a different level.
Please. I got kids, man. I gotta go home and like hug my children. Don't make me do this.
That would be a very interesting torture technique, to have like the torturer do, some fucked up normal, quote unquote normal
torture,
and then another guy come in and he's like, how come he's not talking yet? He's like, I don't know, man, I'm giving him my best stuff. Like, hey, if you don't dial this up and do that other thing that you can do, dude, we're gonna torture you, or we're gonna kill your family. No, man, please, I don't want to do that thing to him. That's so fucked. That'll damage me internally. And the guy being tortured is like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah. Dude, you gotta
something
work with
so
me.
Bad that you would do to me that it would be a punishment to you.
Dude slams the door, walks out, and just start begging, like, dude, please, just give me anything, any sort of info, man. This is fucked. Don't make me go through this.
You heard of good cop, bad cop. Get ready for good torturer, bad torturer.
I mean, but like genuinely, that is what the CIA figured out way before all the MK Ultra bullshit, that like the best way to get information out of someone is to just like be friendly, to just like make them feel comfy and just be like, I don't know, man, we're pretty chill. Like, yeah, we took you prisoner, but like, here, look, we're giving you food. Like you're being well taken care of. You're not diseased. Like,
let's just get this over with.
Just let us know what you know, and like this will all be over. It's fine. Like, that is far and away the most effective way to get information out of people. And yet they were like, but that's like pansy shit. We need to start.
That sounds like something the communists would do.
Yeah, except for then they like, that was the whole reason they did MK Ultra, is because they were like, well, the Soviets are doing it, and then we look and we're like, they weren't doing it. Like the Soviets weren't doing it at all, man.
But what about Havana syndrome?
They got microwaves, man. We gotta torture them.
And of course, also on the podcast today, we have a man who has been communing with nature, Andrew Clark. How was it?
It was good. I did a lot of lake swimming.
Ooh.
I do love a good lake swim.
Get some lovely microorganisms.
Yeah.
All up in there.
Yeah. I do have a very upset stomach.
Oh my God. The lake, baby.
I don't think it's the lake. I think it's just everything that I put into my body over the last couple of days.
That's probably
I also saw Japanese breakfast at Summerfest. That was a lot of fun. Love Japanese breakfast.
We've all had that though at a lake, right? Where you're like tubing or something, and water gets in somewhere. I'm not gonna say where. There's multiple places that somehow, like, you just get a jet of water and it's unavoidable, and then lake water hits different, man. You don't want that in your body anywhere. Ain't good.
That's just thousands of fish's entire lives, like every bodily function in that water.
The essence of fish.
It's just fish and crawdads.
It's fish all the way down.
Oh,
I remember thinking as a kid, like sometimes people would gas up a boat and like a little bit of gasoline would get in the water and you could see it just like that rainbow thing. And I'm just like, I don't think I want to get in there. Now that water is bad. That's tainted.
That's stories from my dad at the old school Wisconsin Dells, because he would work as like a lifeguard, and he was like, the fucking bumper boats, man, that is disgusting. I think they had a genuine close call. Like, there was so much gas leaking into those pools from the bumper boats.
Yeah.
And I think they genuinely had a close call where they had to like call an ambulance because one of the employees was like working on a boat and fell in. And I don't know if he like drank some of it and shit like that, but he was like not good. And it was like a genuine, like, holy shit, is this guy gonna die from awful pool stuff at the Wisconsin Dells Family Land, which doesn't exist anymore.
Some heinous shit is going down at Family Land.
Yeah, dude. We grew up, we had some like towels and it was like Family Land. It's great. Just don't think about it very much. It's all good. And then Mount Olympus was like, hey, we like go-karts. And then they were like, oh, hey, we like roller coasters. Let's buy that theme park. And then they're like, oh, hey, we like water too. Let's buy that Family Land. And now it's all one thing.
Wait, Mount Olympus is new? Like in the
New-ish, yeah. In the grand scheme of things, it started as Big Chief go-karts, so it was just the go-karting part.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember what the theme park was called, but then they bought the theme park with the roller coasters and renamed them all to be like Greek themed. And then they bought the water park, they bought Familyland, and they all became one big thing, baby. So yeah.
Where did the hotel come from? Did they build that, or was that
they
already
built that.
there?
Huh.
Okay.
Or you're right. Maybe that they could have been part of Familyland. I don't know. They bought a lot of hotels and then painted them all blue and white, and then everyone freaked the fuck out and was like, "It looks like this is a company town. You can't keep painting every hotel blue and white." So then they stopped, and now they have like the illusion of choice, kind of. But any hotel that you get free tickets to one of the local theme parks is owned by that theme park. If it's like, oh, free tickets to Noah's Ark, it's like, yeah, that's owned by I think it's a Chinese conglomerate.
That tracks. Yeah.
Or maybe a Spanish. I think it was a Spanish conglomerate and maybe got sold to a Chinese conglomerate. But yeah, it's interesting. I don't know why I Googled Noah's Ark and thought that the water park would pop up.
Yeah, dude, that's the most famous Noah's Ark.
For me?
Kinda.
Yeah, like unironically. It is the largest water park in America, Andrew. I don't know what you want.
Features 51 water slides.
Dude, fucking 51, and like 6 of them are good.
Yeah.
Actually, like now that I think about it, like a lot of Bible stories, they're like fables that like trying to get people on board for Christianity, but also like just teach a general morality.
By the way, which is the Spanish conglomerate.
Yeah, it's still owned by a Spanish. But sorry, what, Lucas?
Sorry,
What's the lesson I'm supposed to learn from the story of Noah's Ark?
You're supposed to have faith in God.
Okay.
No, it's all about like how Noah was like, him and his family was like the most devout people, and God like chose them because they were so good and was like, you are the ones that we're gonna make the humans from. Like, you 16 people, or I don't even remember how many, but like they were the good ones basically, is the idea. And like all the people were like, you fucking moron, building a boat in the middle of nowhere, what's this boat for? And then he believed and he was right and saved everyone, and all the animals, and everyone else fucking drowned. It's absolutely brutal.
Okay, so that one's just like straight up propaganda. Like there's no
Are you talking about the Bible? I don't
think.
Like, I think it's all propaganda.
Are you talking about the apocalyptic story in the Bible?
It's all propaganda, baby. All
Yo,
the way
man,
down.
I'm starting to think that maybe the Garden of Eden was a little sus.
I'm starting to think that maybe this whole organized religion thing is just a big cult that has been kind of indoctrinated over thousands of years. So we all are chill with it, but it's really no different.
What do you mean any religion that accepts your money is morally compromised out of the gate? That seems
accepts your money,
weird.
Expects your money.
Teaches you how to give it the proper amount
Part
of money.
Part of the religion is giving the money.
Yeah, or else you go to hell.
No, but Christianity, like Jesus said, to forgive all debt in 7 years, which is what I expect the Supreme Court to uphold when I default on student loans.
That's my favorite part of like the anti-Semitic conspiracies, is like, that's why there's a quote unquote overrepresentation of Jewish people in the banking industry, is because for the longest time Christians were like, we can't charge interest, that's like not godly. And then they were like, fuck that, like we can't compete. I can't fucking compete. Like, and Jewish people didn't have that same restriction, and so they were like, no, that doesn't make sense. Like, how do you loan people money if you can't make something off of it? Otherwise you're not anything. You're just
also total bullshit. There's no way that Christians didn't charge interest.
Back in the early days.
Jesus went ape shit in a church because of that, Andrew. Come on.
Yeah, lots of Christians do things they're not supposed to do that don't make any sense.
Not Jesus, Andrew. Jesus did all good things, except for like there were a couple of things that weren't like good, but like I guess they're good because he's God, so it's like I guess it's good. I don't know, man. Also, he's kind of technically God, and God did a lot of really fucked shit before Jesus, so I don't know how that works. Like, he turned people into
do you think
pillars
anyone
of
ever
salt
questioned
for...
Jesus about the stuff in the Old Testament? They're like, hey,
Dude, are
so how
you
come did you threaten to
Yeah,
kill that guy's son? Like,
right?
did you
You talking
flood the
about...
earth? Like, no, that wasn't me. That was dad. Like, well, but aren't you also
you
dad?
said
Like,
you said like Holy Trinity, like, so like that's you, like you, like when Lot's wife turned and you just turned her into a pillar of salt just because you said don't look back, like that. Is that you? Seems pretty bad, right? Like, yeah, maybe a little harsh, bro.
Actually,
Jesus
Jesus,
hitting it with the corporate speak.
could
Yeah,
you explain to us what the Holy Spirit is?
yeah. The
I'm
Holy
not gonna lie,
Spirit.
we're still figuring out the branding on that one. We can come to you like top of Q4 though with a
Holy
really good deck
Spirit
on it.
is God's new Coke.
Yeah, he comes inside me. Like, comes? Like, what? In what way are we talking here? I'm confused. He impregnated your mom?
Which was
Like,
also you?
yeah, yeah. So you fucked your mom? Jesus. Jesus, we need some help. We need some clarification here.
Look, man, I'm not accusing you of anything. I just need to understand what the deal here is.
How many ribs like did you take? Because
Is this
like
an Army Hammer deal? Like,
these are all we're all genetically identical, right? Like that's how this works. Like there's only like two people that had sex, so like we're all related, right? That's how this works. It's great.
But also later you really outline like fathers not sleeping with daughters, not coveting. Like what's going on here, bud? What's going on? Do
was
you need
that a
an editor?
problem? Was that a thing you had to deal with?
This was top of your list. Like God was like prepping you. He was like training you for 20 years to get sent down to Earth, and you were like, all right, hunger, violence, ooh, no, we gotta incest. That's going right to the top, baby. This is number one.
Hey, listen, writer's
Look, God,
strike.
I'll get to the hunger stuff. I'm gonna have like 90 years at least to
Yeah.
deal with all these problems.
Ooh.
I'm gonna deal with the incest right away because that's grossing me out.
Yeah.
I swear to God, swear to me that I'm
Swear.
gonna take care of the violence thing.
It's
But
happening. It's happening. Don't worry. Like, look, I was like, if I started doing crazy shit when I was 13, that wouldn't have gone over very well. So like, really, I can't start going until I'm like 15, 16. So like, and then right away, we're gonna drill down on the incest. I'm gonna turn some fish into more fish. And then like, look, I'll just vibe. We'll do
yeah,
everything. It'll be great.
the whole incest thing that might take me the first 33 years, but after that, I'm gonna take care of everything else. The lickety split. That's the easy stuff.
Yeah,
So as
that
long as
stuff's
nothing gets in my way,
right.
I'm gonna take
I
care
went
of the
to a
rest of it.
corporate seminar and they said prioritize the big rocks because you can fill in the little rocks after the fact. Like my big rock is glaring me in the face right now, and we'll do everything after I meet my friend Pontius. He's a chill guy.
I know a guy. He's Pontius. He's never betrayed me.
No, he's great.
Get some shit done.
Judas, Pontius, like, dude, I got a top three. They
Yeah,
got
those are my
back.
day ones.
I thank you, Andrew, for reminding me that Jesus was like 33 or so when he died. I still got time. I still got time to peak.
I think it was canonically 33, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it's
Yeah,
or
I think-
so. I think it's pretty.
No, I think
Well, like
I
within the
remember that
Bible, the
from
actual
like a Dan Brown book. They're like, there's a reason why they said Jesus was 33. I don't remember why it was.
Well, that's like numerology, which is like
Yeah.
gaining popularity. Like I remember Jordan
The
Klepper was at a
power in
Wisconsin
numbers.
Trump
Oh.
rally, and there was a woman that was going pretty hard, and I was like, damn, this is not the Wisconsin that I left. Like they've gotten a little bit more into the that's some hippie bullshit, to be like, well, what do you think? They said 83. 8 plus 3, 11. What's 11? And they like expect you to know, and it's like you sound so fucked. Like this is scary to hear you talk. Like, ugh. I don't know, man. It's bad.
But also writer strike still going strong. If anyone wants us to script an animated series about Jesus having to take over the family business from his fuck up dad, like, we got the bones here, clearly.
Also, like,
Lucas,
bad.
Are you suggesting we break the picket line? Like,
hey, animators, no, animation, still
That's
good.
an animated-
It's weird, it's problematic, still good to write animated series right now.
We are non-union, so yeah, we could make an animated show. Lickety split. I will say it's bad writing to have Judas betray Jesus. Like, come on, Peter was staring you right in the face. Like, you couldn't have like the number one, the right hand man do that type of shit. You're just like, no, that dude in like the back, like he's the one that betrayed him. It's like, no, that's not good writing. Like, it's got to be irony. It's got to be dramatic. Like, you can't just have the school shooter vibe guy betray him. Like. It's like, come on, man. You had Peter, you had John, you had like all these guys that were like close to him, and you're like, nah, this fucking long-haired weirdo.
Spotify probably will not like us for this, but if we can title this Judas, the first school shooter, I'd be pretty proud of ourselves.
It's probably just like fucking Passion of the Christ bullshit, like weird propaganda to make Judas this like, yeah, like,
oh no,
I just love silver. Like, but like it seems pretty obvious in retrospect. Like, it's like, these 11 dudes, pretty chill. That guy, why did we let him in again? I don't know about that. That seems weird.
This little guy? Don't worry about this little guy.
I mean, he's chilling, but like a villain? What's going on here?
He keeps like touching his fingertips together off in the corner. Keeps talking about things coming to fruition. I don't know about this guy, man. Jesus, what do you got going on?
He gave Mark a letter that says, "Don't come to worship tomorrow."
That's the best one, Andrew. We have to move on because that's the best one.
Oh no.
Don't come to worship tomorrow. Title contender. Nintendo did the Nintendo Direct. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet DLC, 2D Sonic game that I'm not going to play because all Sonic games are bad. Sorry. Tactics Persona 5 game that I'm not going to play because I got complicated feelings about that company's politics. New Detective Pikachu. Remember Detective Pikachu?
Does this mean we're going to get another Ryan Reynolds movie?
They couldn't get Ryan Reynolds. It's a different voice. It's a different, much deeper voice.
No, I'm talking about the movie, not the game.
Oh, they're making another game. Sorry, I should have specified.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. Super Mario RPG remake. I thought this was illegal because Nintendo and Square Enix have been fighting over the rights for like the entirety of this property's existence. I'm excited to play that. Going to be another Princess Peach game that we know nothing about. Also excited for that. The Batman Arkham Asylum games are going to be on Switch.
Only about 15 years too late.
Andrew, you played that in high school, right?
I played one of them. I played Arkham City. I don't think I even finished it. I think I got to a point where like the game was actually broken. I mean, it was fun. It was a decent game. I didn't get into it as much as some other people did. I know it's pretty acclaimed. I thought it was just fine.
I know a lot of people like that one, but I think it's wrapped around to like, this is maybe a little too influential. Maybe we need to back away from this approach to game design. But I never played them, so I can't speak too authoritatively. Dragon Quest, Monsters, Pokemon, but Dragon Quest, I'm down. Pikmin 4 coming soon. HD ports of the first two games. Metal Gear Solid Master Collection coming to the Switch. I'm legitimately more excited for these ports than I am for the remake Metal Gear Solid Triangle. Yeah, let's go. Penny's Big Breakaway, a 3D platformer from the makers of Sonic Mania. No good Sonic games. That is the least bad Sonic game, in my humble opinion. Somehow still more Mario Kart 8 DLC. Ryan, ya boy, PD Piranha, he's back.
Wow.
Yeah.
He made it.
There's a WarioWare game.
Wait,
What?
in Mario Kart?
Mario Kart 8. Yeah, PD Piranha's coming.
What about the power up? Isn't that PD Piranha?
No, that's a piranha plant.
Oh, completely different.
Wait. PD Piranha is one specific piranha plant.
Yeah.
I thought they were
so.
all called PD
Yeah,
Piranha.
I thought they were all PD Piranha.
I think PD Piranha has like a body. The other ones are piranha plants.
No, PD Piranha does not have a body. He has like
He does have a body.
pot. Like, doesn't
No,
he?
he doesn't have a pot. In Smash Bros, it's Piranha Plant who has the pot. PD has little legs.
He has a Speedo.
I just assumed that's what all PD Piranhas had in the pot.
Right.
Was the little weird leg things. But yeah, no, I guess it's from Super Mario Sunshine, PD Piranha.
Okay, you're right.
So PD Piranha is gonna have one of his brethren like chomping on other people in Mario Kart 8.
Oh. Okay. It's suggested in his bios in Mario Superstar Baseball and Mario Party Star Rush that he is the ruler of the piranha plants.
He's the king?
Yes.
On the wiki, it says PD Piranha is a large mutant piranha plant.
Is he that much bigger than like piranha plants are pretty fucking big.
They're long.
They're like 3 or 4 times as tall as Mario is. Yeah, they do say he's the ruler of his kind.
Yeah.
Damn.
Boss.
The leader of the piranha plants. Leader and ruler are 2 very different things, but whatever.
I don't think PD Piranha is part of a monarchy. Seems like a chill dude.
You think leader?
Yeah.
Is
democratically
he chill?
Elected potentially.
Is he not a bad guy?
He's in a swimsuit.
Bad guys.
I think he's the main bad guy of Mario Sunshine, isn't he?
No, that's Bowser Jr.
Okay.
He is a loyal follower of Bowser. But
so he's a cuck, like Mark Zuckerberg.
Listen, the politics of running a kingdom. I'm sorry, a democratic republic. Complicated. Sometimes you have to make allegiances.
That makes you a cuck, baby. If you're less powerful,
valid.
It's all over. If you're Lukashenko, you're a cuck.
But speaking of Super Mario, Super Mario Bros. Wonder is out in October. New 2D platformer Mario. As Donkey eloquently put it, as soon-to-be father Donkey eloquently put it, Mario, elephant. 10 out of 10. Game of the year.
I think so.
Take that, Tears of the Kingdom. That's it for video games. I want E3 to be back. E3 is never coming back.
It's gone.
No. Electric 3, dead. Found dead in Miami, June 2023.
I wanted to see, before we move on, I wanted to see the order of the 12 disciples. And by the way, all the gospels differ on the exact order. They all agree on like Peter, Andrew, James, and John. That those were like definitely the four tight homies. But then there's some debate over Philip, Bartholomew, Thomas, Matthew, the other James. Also, there's another Judas who then sometimes they call Thaddeus because they're like, yeah, 2 Judases. That's kind of.
Oh yeah, this one calls them Judas the Greater and Judas Iscariot.
Yeah, Judas Iscariot is the bad guy,
and
Simon as well. But yeah, like Judas is definitely never in that top tier. Judas is always
there's also
listed
2
last.
Jameses.
Yeah, there's 2 Jameses, Zebedee and Alphaeus.
Wait, I'm sorry. Was Luke not a disciple? Who the fuck am I named after?
No, Luke was so what? Matthew, Mark, Luke, John were the 4. God, what was their fucking title? And
Apostle?
They wrote.
No, they're all apostles.
Yeah.
Who is Luke? Luke does not name himself. We do know he was a physician.
Possibly a Gentile.
The
Ooh.
4 evangelists.
Only writer.
They created the Gospels. That's their whole shit.
Oh, okay.
But Luke is not an apostle, it looks like.
No.
Looks like he's a dude.
Yeah.
It's just a fucking dude.
You know what? Accurate to where I am in life. If Luke was just a freelance writer they brought on to get the first draft of the Bible to print.
He's the only Gentile to write in the New Testament that we can like 100% confirm was not Jewish. So there you go. Close friend of Paul, who referred to him as the beloved physician. They wrote about each other. I guess I never, like, obviously when they're telling stories, but like when they're just like, sometimes in the Bible, they're just like, oh yeah, Luke, he's a good doctor. People like him. Like they're like vouching for each other in the like holy text. It's very roughshod.
Very normal, very heteronormative. Good for them.
I mean, like no one wrote good things about Judas. No one was like, Judas was a beloved guy who liked money.
Apparently the source that the gospel, like the people that wrote the Gospels used to tell this story of the life of Jesus Christ is called the Q source.
Oh,
like the letter
fucking
Q.
God.
It says the Q source, which comes from German Quell, meaning source. Okay, it just means the source. It's a hypothetical written collection of primarily Jesus's sayings. So someone wrote down everything that Jesus did and said, or at least part of it, and then some other guys later found that and said, we should make a book out of this.
You could make a religion out of this. I don't know. He chose 12, and it sounds like he knew from the beginning that Judas was fucked. And he was like, yeah, but that's like the thing. So he chose 11 good dudes and then was like, all right, now for the fun part. Like, let's get the school shooter. I'm telling you. Let's get the guy that's going to have no problem betraying me whatsoever.
I think we need
again, that feels like a self-fulfilling prophecy. It feels like he's like, no, I've got to be betrayed by someone, so let's find a good betrayer. Like, it was like, maybe if you would have chose 12 good dudes, maybe you wouldn't have been betrayed. Maybe this is all be chill.
Judas was set up as a betrayer, honestly.
Yeah, dude.
Like,
That's fucking entrapment. That is straight up entrapment. And I will not stand for that fashy bullshit.
Hashtag Judas did nothing wrong.
Judas played to his nature. This was nature, not nurture.
It's like giving an admitted pyro a pack of matches. Like, what do you think is going to happen here?
That is at least 50% on you. So, I don't know, man. This Jesus guy, let's put him on trial. That's our show. Put Jesus on trial.
Oh, 12 angry men, but the 12 angry men are the apostles of Jesus Christ.
It's coming together!
Great. We got it.
No, have fun normalizing that audio, Zoom. Anthony and Ian bought Smosh back from Rhett and Link. Andrew, I sent your wife this news. We had a good chat
Jay
about
told
that.
Me about this. And I think she expected me to know about a lot of what had happened. I never watched Smosh, and I never watched Rhett and Link.
What?
So most of it went over my head.
Andrew, what were your big 3 YouTube channels circa 2010 to 2014?
Oh God. Ryan Higa.
Okay.
Sea Hanners.
Okay.
And might have been Inside Gaming.
Wow. I was prepared to talk shit, but you know what? Fair. Power trio.
I also did watch PewDiePie for a while, I'm ashamed to admit. So.
Who didn't? Oof. I think we all felt really bad about that submersible implosion until we found out tickets were $250K a pop. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I probably made myself seem like a bad person to a couple people over the weekend when we talked about it. It was like, yeah, no, it is bad that human beings died. it lessens the blow when there are these kinds of people. And I think that we need to, if you're paying that amount of money to do something that is so dangerous, there's a lot of inherent risk. And so you can't just be like heartbroken when it goes the way that it always had the possibility of going.
Atlantic 2, rich people 0. I'm sorry, but like that's the score.
How many rich people have sailed across the Atlantic Ocean?
How many rich people have seen the Titanic in the submersible?
Yeah, that submarine in particular. If you count that as a score. Do you guys have the slightest interest in seeing the Titanic? Like,
no.
If you knew 100% that it was guaranteed you'd make it back, like, I don't think I'd want to even take vacation time to do that. Like, even if I knew it was guaranteed fully safe.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where my interest in it is so slight that any inconvenience makes it not worth it.
Exactly.
If I was being paid to do it and I knew that there was zero risk involved, I'd
you're being paid. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
The slightest inconvenience, and I just don't care.
Yeah. I do like the ocean. I like boat stuff. I like underwater shit. I think that's cool. I think I'd probably go somewhere else.
Yeah, isn't there like cooler underwater shit than like
any coral reef?
Shitty boat?
Honestly,
dude, I'd see the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald first.
Yeah, that'd be fucking lit, dude. Could play the song the whole time.
Or like the freighter that sank out off the coast of France with all the Garfield merch.
Yeah,
and that's why I keep watching up on one beach.
It wasn't a freighter. It was just one specific shipping crate filled with thousands of Garfield phones.
I think that's the meme with the women with a time machine, just like, I am your granddaughter, men with a time machine. Holy shit, stop this shipping crate, man. We gotta keep this on the way. You could probably dive to the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, right? Like, it's not that deep.
People have done it. It's just illegal to do so.
Oh, really?
It's the Canadian version of like a heritage site. You're not allowed to go there or interact or take photos, because there are definitely bodies. People have gone before, but they've gotten permission because like they brought the bell back, and then they put a fake one there.
They put a fake one back in the boat.
Yeah, they took. I think it was like a superstition thing, and I mean it.
It's so fucked. They're trying to like Indiana Jones God. Like they're like, we'll swap them out. No one will know the difference.
It was because they had the ability to go and collect the bodies, but it had been like a decade, and the families had said, no, we kind of want them to just like stay there. Like that's their final resting place at this point. We've all done our grieving. We don't want to have to go through this again. But it would be nice to have some sort of memorial. So they said, what if we got something really big and cool from the ship? And then they're like, yeah, what is it? Like, we'll get the bell, and then we'll like inscribe their names on it. Like, so there's not going to be a bell on the ship. That seems like bad voodoo. Can you put a different one back bell, so it remains whole? And they're like, yeah, tight.
This logic is the most fucked shit.
Sailors are superstitious. They always have it.
Take the bell. Make a mold, make like a perfect replica of this bell that like has everything and it's the exact same thing, and put the bell back. Then I'd get the suspicion. It'd be like, yeah, that sounds right. Like, you put back what you took or whatever.
I do think they took a mold of the bell and used that to return to the ship.
To put the fake one back.
I think it's a perfect replica of the bell.
But if you're superstitious, though, that seems bad voodoo to put a fake one back.
Like, ghosts can't tell the difference.
Exactly. You're like fooling these supernatural beings. You're like, no one will know. Dude. They're gonna know. No one's gonna know.
I'm just telling you how it is. I'm not like
telling you how it be. I'm telling you how it be. It's 530 feet down. So yeah, that's pretty chill. But it broke in half because it hit the bottom, right? Isn't that what happened?
Not clear. That's probably what happened. I was listening to a podcast about this like 2 days ago, actually.
Yeah, man.
Because they aren't positive exactly how it sank, but they think that whatever sunk it caused like a stress fracture. And then once it actually hit, because it probably hit nose first, that just napped it.
It's what's it called? 530 feet of water. The bow section was 276 feet long. The stern section 253 feet long. So it almost perfectly lines up with like the bottom of the lake where they were at. That's fucking deep though. Like, you imagine how deep that ship went into the fucking water if it hit the bottom of the lake? Like, god damn.
I thought it was deeper than that. I thought it was like 1,000 feet down.
They also said most of the crew was from Ohio and Wisconsin, so fuck Canada. I'm from Wisconsin.
It's in Canadian waters, but like,
well, fuck you.
It's like 2 miles away from American waters.
Yeah, isn't it near? What's it called?
It's an American boat. It's
right. It's near the UP.
Yeah, it's north of the UP, kind of close to Minnesota.
I'm seeing the map, and this thing is right on the line, like genuinely right on the border between the U.S. and Canada. But if it was U.S., would it be like no holds barred? Like we'd have Edmund Fitzgerald tourism?
No, because it's still all of those decisions were made by the family. Like the Canadian, because it was on Canadian water, they're the ones that enacted the wishes of the family. The American government probably would have done the exact same thing.
Probably, but
I mean, they've done that for other Great Lake wrecks. Like a lot of them are illegal to go to.
It's kind of sad though. So like, so basically, you need a wreck where everyone survived, and that's the only one you could go to. Like, if anyone is dead in that wreck, it
kind of depends. I mean, because like maybe the one guy that died, his family were like, it's not a big deal. Like,
if I'm like on a speedboat in Lake Superior and I fucking wreck and die and sink to the bottom, I don't give a shit. Come check out the boat. It doesn't matter to me. Like, if I'm the one, you guys can enact my wishes. I have it in my this is my will. I'm not giving money or anything like that. I just, if I die in one of the Great Lakes and I'm the only one to die, you can come check me out. Seems pretty cool. But yeah, no, like space tourism or like Mount Everest, if I'm like guaranteed that I'm coming back, I'm doing that shit. Like, I'm absolutely doing that shit. But like, nah, I don't really, it's whatever. It's like, imagine you can be seasick for like a week with nothing but open water on like a shitty like corporate vessel, and then you like ride down for hours in a little tube, and then you see out of like a little shitty window an old boat. I'd be like, no thanks.
Andrew, you've been on a cruise. Like, what was the rocking situation like there?
We had really calm seas. Either that or I just like adjusted pretty quickly.
Andrew got his sea legs.
I have gotten my sea legs before. It doesn't take me very long to adjust.
Clark,
but there was
that's a sailing name.
The Clarks, we were known as oceanfarers. Famous explorers.
The Irish. The Clarks of Ireland. They really.
Hey, Lewis and come on.
Yeah, Clark, really well known for sailing on the open ocean. That's the thing he did.
He was the boat guy. Lewis was the land guy. Clark was the
Wait, it's Meriwether Lewis. What's Clark's first name? I don't think I know it. Lewis and Clark. Clark really got the short end. Meriwether is a good explorer name. What's Clark? William Clark. Yeah, that's forgettable. No wonder no one ever remembers William Clark.
That's boring.
Are you related to him? Sorry, we're getting way off.
I doubt it. What were we? On the cruise, there was like one day where it was pretty bad, and so like Jade and I were like, "Oh man, the boat's pretty rocky." But like there were people just like straight up flying across the room because they had no sea legs.
Oh,
and like we saw like a drag bingo show that day.
Oh,
and she was like fucking all over the place. She's like, "Oh shit, I can't fucking stand in these heels." It was pretty funny.
I'm not gonna lie. Maybe one of my most controversial opinions. I think the war on drag from conservatives has led to a situation where like being able to have combos about whether or not like a drag performance is good or bad has kind of been lost, understandably, but still in a way that's frustrating. A drag performance where the main queen had no equilibrium sounds kind of incredible. Maybe also, a little dark, but I'd be down for that.
They're an employee of the cruise. Like, I feel like that's almost their shtick, is that they've done this before, I'm assuming. Like, this wasn't the maiden voyage.
And granted, it was like really rocky for like everyone else too. It's not like their whole thing was, oh, I can't stand, and everyone's laughing because other people were like falling out of their seats.
It does sound genuinely funny, like working that into your act of like, I fucking hate cruises, and you're on a cruise performing.
Weird aside, because it was like the last voyage of like that crew, like that iteration of it, like they do a certain number before like the ship is refitted and like takes a different route for the rest of the year. A lot of crew members had their families on board. Like I talked to several different like people where they're like, yeah, I'm here because my brother does this thing, or like my dad's here. The drag queen's dad was there, and he was just like a 5'8" kind of like pudgy guy with glasses, like super unassuming, and like that was really funny.
Oh,
where extremists come from, baby. You gotta love it. William Clark, maybe related to Andrew. You're probably going to want to distance yourself. No, I'm just throwing it out there. Probably going to want to distance yourself. Slaveholder, of course.
Okay. Probably. Makes sense.
Yeah, classic. Became the governor of Missouri, which feels like finders keepers. Like, feels like he was like
a little bit.
He was like, I've seen all this shit. Like James Madison. I don't know, man. Makes sense to me. And then he named his first kid Meriwether Lewis Clark. So he was Lewis and Clark. This fucking kid.
That's one of the gayest things I've ever heard. Okay.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Love it.
Sure. Super gay.
Right?
Andrew, Ryan and I could have done a duo cast. We decided not to because we wanted you to be able to talk about this. There was a coup in Russia? What's going on here?
A coup?
Someone flew the coup in Russia?
Convertible in Russia?
There was chickens in Russia. That's spelled different.
What's going on?
Did you guys want me here because I'm the international politics guy? I feel like you guys are pretty well read.
I don't know shit. I don't know. What's this Russia?
I mean, we want you here, period, but also yes.
So lowdown here for all you viewers of this thing that was all over the news like 3 weeks ago, was that there is a mercenary organization in Russia called the Wagner Group, spelled with a W, so everyone calls them Wagner, who were pretty close to Putin. Like the people that ran that organization are like definitely on Putin's like direct order list.
Mm-hmm.
And for the last, couple of decades at least, they've done a lot of Russia's dirty work in places. They've operated in Afghanistan, they've operated in Georgia and Crimea, and all sorts of shit. When something needs to get done and Russia doesn't want to send its actual army, they send the Wagner Group. So they were in Ukraine doing a lot of the hard-hitting battles, and it seems like the Wagner Group brass were like growing weary of how bad they were losing and the lack of support they were getting from Moscow. So eventually they just like talked shit publicly about Putin and the rest of the military in Russia, and just like pulled out. And then supposedly, according to the Wagner Group's claims, Russia like targeted them specifically with like artillery and tried to kill them. So then they said, screw this, we're going to go to Moscow and show them who's boss, and launched a mini coup that lasted like a day. And kind of seems like when it was clear that they were going to get to Moscow and there was going to be open war, Wagner was like, we don't really know what to do from here. And they took a deal from Belarus to like escape into Belarus, and they wouldn't face any charges if they just gave up. And then they just didn't. They never left Russia, apparently. And apparently the leadership met with Putin like a couple days afterwards and they hashed it out. But he's still like public enemy number one. Super fucking weird. No one really knows why they did what they did. But my personal opinion is that they wanted to make a show of force. And then when it became clear that they actually had the opportunity to take over Russia, they're like, no, we don't want to do that. We don't want any part of that part of a coup. We just wanted to show how big our balls were.
Right. They're also hyper nationalistic. So if they perceive it as something that could weaken Russia on the global stage.
Yeah. They probably, the soldiers did not want to go out and kill, Russian soldiers. Except for like a few.
They did kill some. Some of them didn't seem to have any.
No,
calls.
I mean, like they probably thought like they wouldn't be able to get their forces behind them in an open war with their own countrymen.
Like the actual Russian army.
Yeah, no, they're fine committing murder.
Yeah,
but like committing war against their own Russians, like that's a different story.
I understand how you end up in that situation as a negotiation tactic. Of like, we're gonna do a coup unless you meet our demands, and then it becomes very clear that a coup is much more easily obtainable, and then they face an issue that a lot of people over the course of Russia's modern history have faced, where, well, we could run Russia. We could be in charge. But
that's not a super appealing job.
We don't want to be in charge. We don't want to hold this bag, actually. Bye.
Yeah. It's a weird thing.
Very weird.
Heel turn for Meriwether Lewis Clark. I mean, look, he was fucking wrecked from birth with that name. But yeah, no, he was like super pro secessionist, like very big Confederate, and he like fought for the Confederates in the Civil War, and then as an example of what we should not have done, just kind of like went back home after the war and just like still was an engineer and just nothing happened. Yeah, it's good stuff.
God, the American public education system is so bad about teaching the scale of these events. Because I'm like, oh, Lewis and Clark, they were alive during the Civil War? That doesn't make sense. That happened.
Well, Clark wasn't.
Oh, okay.
Clark's son was, yeah.
I see.
Clark died in 1838. His son, who he named after his partner, his exploration partner.
Air quotes.
Yeah.
He explored a lot with his partner, Ryan.
I mean, yeah. He also brought along one of his slaves, William Clark did, whose name was York. And apparently had a reputation for treating his slaves really badly. And there's a lot of diary entries about how the Native Americans like think he's nice and like treat him with a lot of respect because they're like, yeah, he's a person. What are you talking about? Like, why would you treat him any differently? And that apparently that actually helped grease a lot of wheels because they were like, we've never seen a person who looks like this before. Like, this is kind of cool.
Oh,
you guys seem all right. So
I'm pretty sure I'm not related to this guy because I'm pretty sure that my family immigrated after the Lewis and Clark expedition.
Ah, your new one. So that's interesting.
At least the Clark side of my family.
Oh.
Yeah.
But y'all get in with the famine then?
Some of us, I'm sure.
Oh, fair.
There's different Irish branches.
I was going to say, also William Clark, not Irish. He was English and maybe Scottish. So there you go.
The Reds sucks, but it's blue sky thinking for me, baby. One of the, I mean, like Anime Expo was fantastic for a lot of reasons. But I'd be lying if I said one of the highlights wasn't appear there hooking me up with the blue sky invite code.
What's what's Blue Sky like right now with only invited people?
Like, this is microblogging in its purest form. Like, this is, I
Most
know
pretentious
It
shit.
sounds like
it
sucks.
is pretentious. That's what it is. It's a lot of interesting, pretentious, mostly queer, from my understanding, from my
Blue
read on
Sky
it.
is gay Twitter.
Yeah.
Wait, it's all gay Twitter?
Always has been.
Yeah, it's all of them on there. It's neat. It's neat being on a social media platform without ads. I had forgotten what that's like. And like, I know my language is hyperbolic, but also it doesn't let you post GIFs right now. It doesn't have like an in-app media player. So you have to like follow a link to watch a YouTube video or whatever.
Yeah,
That's an app killer.
yeah, that shit sucks.
I kind of love it. I kind of love it right now. I'm going back to like circa 2012 Twitter. This
Just
is
like
Read a
whipping
newspaper then. If your whole
Yeah.
thing is like
Kinda.
it's a sign of a bygone era, like read physical media.
Yeah, man.
I'd be
Listen
down
to
for
your
that too.
record player and
Yeah. How do I get the Badger Herald out in Los Angeles? I'm down for that.
and Lucas is literally like, yeah, full blown hipster mode, except for like with social media platforms.
Yeah, it's Lucas is going Amish, but his 1850 is 2016. Yeah.
It's also interesting to see, because this is all it's still entirely invite only, to see like, damn, this post is doing numbers and it has 8 reblogs, and it's like, that's actually numbers for this scale of people, and that's fucking wild.
I don't think this is going anywhere.
I feel like they gotta have some sort of rollout plan by now. It's been how many months since Twitter apocalypse? I don't know.
Yeah.
Gotta get on that.
I really feel like Threads is probably going to kill any sort of Twitter alternative. If Threads even makes it.
I don't think Threads makes it. Like, just rancid
then
vibes right
Twitter
now.
is. I mean, it wasn't your take that Twitter is not going to last very long?
No, and I will say, like, kind of what inspired me to like really ask people for a Bluesky invite. That rate limit thing that happened, that was day 1 of Anime Expo, and that like legitimately got in the way of people being able to communicate. Like, hey, we are past like crowd limits right now. No one come in here. And then the fire marshal had to show up and shut shit down for like 45 minutes.
Did they stop doing the rate limit thing? I haven't gotten it since that first day.
No, which means like it was a technological fuck up because Musk fired a bunch of engineers that were vital.
That were then hired by Meta to make Threads.
To make Threads, yeah. So I can't. Twitter feels like a sinking ship to me. Like, it's just going to keep getting worse and breaking like more and more over time until it eventually implodes. And like, I don't know. I'm all in on.
I don't
Blue
think it's
Sky
ever
right
going
now.
to cease to exist. It'll just be a shell of its former self.
It's just like we don't want a lifeboat. We want a big ship that everyone can just jump to. And right now there's just like 10 different lifeboats, and it's like, no, that defeats the whole purpose. Like, just want to follow all your favorite content people.
Yeah.
Your favorite tweeters.
This lifeboat has a leak. This lifeboat doesn't have enough room for you.
Yeah.
It's invite
this
only.
This lifeboat isn't letting you in.
Yeah, this lifeboat is structurally sound, but does have a monkey with a gun.
It's also weird that like me catching up, like following people on Blue Sky that like, and because it's invite only, it's entirely possible and probably more likely that people, I hate to use this terminology, but like more famous than me aren't on Blue Sky. And like, that's probably by choice. But for a split second, I get the big time. I get to be like, oh, well, they're not on Blue Sky and I'm on Blue Sky. And that's a dark part of my psyche that I should probably suppress. But yeah. Either you want that, go for it.
Do you think people that are on Blue Sky can get on Raya just from being on Blue Sky? Like,
what do you want me to find out?
Yeah, do you think that's a big enough
What's
flex?
Raya?
Oh, Andrew, my sweet summer child.
We do this every week.
Raya is the
lately.
celebrity invite only Tinder. Or Bumble, or however you want to look at it.
Is that what it's called? I thought it had a different name.
You wanna hook up with like the person who was 8th on the call sheet for the Winchesters, CW's fucking Supernatural spinoff. Raya's the app for you, baby.
So celebrity is a loose term on that app?
So loose. Absolutely.
Okay.
There's writers and shit that get on there. Like it's not all actors and like people who actually have fame. Like it's just kind of Hollywood's like, aha, successful
Are there
people.
actual famous people on there, or is it like below them?
Yeah, there are genuine famous people on there too. You'll be scrolling through a bunch of no-namers and then a full-blown like solid B-lister will just
dang, this is one of the
up.
Jonas Brothers.
Yeah. Probably not the biggest, but like one of them. Like
not Joe.
Definitely Frankie or Kevin. Like
you know Frankie's on there.
Yeah,
exactly.
Frankie Jonas. Goddamn.
Exactly. No, and like that's a genuine famous person, you know, like sure, may not be super well known, but like is pretty well known. That's kind of the thought behind Raya. But yeah, there was also like a bunch of actual A-listers that used to be on it, and then like women who were like got creepy DMs and started posting them, and then I think all the A-listers were told by their publicists like, what the fuck are you doing? Like you can't date a normie. I'm sorry. Like you have moved past that stage in your life. You're fucking
no,
James
they didn't
Franco.
want to date a normie. They wanted to fuck a normie.
No, that's what their publicist is saying. Like, you cannot fuck a normie. You have sex workers and other famous people. That is your pool for the rest of your life. Like, you will take down everything that you've built if you do something like that. So, yeah, that was the downfall of like the true old days Raya, I guess. But hey, you know,
I kind of just want to see what their UI is like. Like if this is for famous people, this is for rich people.
Like I just got to see the UI.
They got that shit tight. Like
I'm here for the articles. Like
yeah, Lucas subscribes to those OnlyFans because he wants to be supportive.
Yeah, supportive of the sex workers.
I ran into a couple OnlyFans models at Anime Expo. I really hope any of the ones I gave my business card to agree to come onto the stream and talk about the overlap between anime and like sex work. That'd be fun for me. That'd be a fun conversation.
Feels like a hard sell, man. I don't know if they're gonna want to touch that.
Buddy, the amount, like, people don't really check in on me. Like, do you guys get this at your work?
Snap. Lucas like, I'm just like doing shit, and like
we don't want to include this. I'm just gonna
don't really have a supervisor, what you would call a supervisor.
I mean, the previous person to fill my role was promoting her OnlyFans actively on social media while she was like filling that gig. Like she wasn't hiding that.
Wait, okay, not on company social media. Okay.
No, like her own.
I thought it was on like company channels.
No,
no. Holy shit, dude! No. This is you. Where do you work? This is not a company. No, on her own person. Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah.
I know that some corporations would have problems with that, but like they shouldn't. Like that's fucked up. It's your own personal. Now, I guess, are you like representing your company at all on social? Like, is it at all mentioned in your profile? Because then I start to see it. Like, if in your bio, right above your lewd photos is like community manager at Vandom, then I'm starting to see where there could be some issue. But no, if you're just my name and a picture and then OnlyFans promotion, that's fucking bullshit if a company wants to get in there.
Especially during the pandemic, when even people who are doing well got a little survivalist brained on that one.
In a Panzerfaust? You can't crack down.
In a pancake?
Andrew, do you have a social media policy at your company? Is there like an actual like laid out, here's what you can and can't do?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we do too. I don't know if this violates it. We'll find out.
It's mostly our social media policy is almost entirely limited to what we can and can't say about the company and the industry. There's not a whole lot of on your social
conduct.
media, you're representing the company, so don't swear or like don't post nudes. Like I don't think there's anything like that. It's all
Don't
about like
take the Lord's name in vain.
yeah. It's all like you can't say this thing about that. You can't like repost things about, you know, our products without saying, you know, that I'm a employee, and you can't like talk about how the business is doing and
Right.
anything that could be insider trading, that kind of shit.
Right. Interesting. That reminds me, I saw a TikTok today of, you remember that trend where people would be like, oh, Mom, Oprah Winfrey dead at 57, you know, or whatever, like that trend where you'd freak out your parents by pretending that their favorite celebrity died. Like,
No, I don't remember that.
it was a funny trend. It happened. It was like over Christmas this year, or maybe 2 years ago. I don't remember. Someone did that with their mom, but it was like, oh, Mom, Jesus Christ, spotted. And the mom was like, send it to me. Send it to, like, she fucking hook, line, and say. And I think the daughter said like spotted in Ohio, and she was like, send it. Where is it? Where is it? And she was like crying and stuff. And it was like, oh, we're doomed. We're actually doomed. Like, it was, yeah.
If the second coming of Jesus Christ happened, would it be a trending thing on Twitter? Or on
that
TikTok?
would just be a Wednesday. Just like, oh yeah, Jesus is here. It kind of sucks. You know, he's not super with the times. I don't know.
We keep going back to Jesus on this one.
Yeah, it's a gold mine.
He's our Lord and Savior, Lucas.
Oh, valid.
He's going to save this podcast.
Jesus of Nazareth is going to bless us with thousands and thousands of listeners.
Will he save us from the Supreme Court that ruled that a hypothetical web designer doesn't have to create a website for a hypothetical gay couple?
Jesus,
gay guy.
Jesus Christ will objectively do the opposite of what you are asking. The things done in his name are why we are getting this type of stuff. So, yeah.
No, the Supreme Court's going to be his first target. He's going to be flying down from heaven like a cruise missile. And he's going to just a burning asteroid that crashes into the Supreme Court building.
Free bird.
Yeah. No, even flow comes on. Even flow.
Just the arms, perfect spread eagle, like skydiving pose to get maximum terminal velocity when he impacts the fucking Supreme Court.
Thousands dead in the Washington, D.C. era.
It's a den of sin. They'll drain the swamp. The crater, formerly known as Washington, D.C. Yeah, the eastern seaboard wiped out.
Just like that student debt. Oh, no.
Oh,
My
wait.
bad.
I looked into that a little bit. There are actually a couple of avenues to move forward there. The Biden administration probably is not going to.
No, the fact that they didn't announce immediately what their plan was means that they don't have one.
That is the exact same energy as fucking when Hillary won the Democratic nomination. It was like, here's how Bernie Sanders could still be. Then it's like, guys, wrap it up. It's
over.
It's done, man. I get it. You want to be optimistic. You want to pretend that it's not over, but y'all, it's over.
Yeah.
One day, maybe. Keep making those minimum payments, Lucas, and dreaming. And you never know.
I don't know if I necessarily need to be out there with this, but like I'm in a relatively good place with paying off my student loans, like relative to the world. Yeah. But
That's
also
fair.
like it would be life changing. Like if I got like the $3,000 or so I have left on that paid off, or like, hey, all the money I paid off during the pandemic, if that comes back to me, that's like, cool. I roll that into like a longer term savings account. Like that's condo money in a couple of years. And like, that's maybe.
He said condo money.
In LA?
In a couple of years.
We just had this conversation.
Also true. But like, also that's what the government is supposed to do, in my opinion. Like that's how the economy is actually stimulated in a meaningful way for its citizens to like Yeah, no, you can make major purchases like that, like within your lifetime, like possibly.
Yeah.
So,
Lucas, I'm going to disagree with you there. I think
No?
that corporate landlords just hoovering up every single entry-level single-family home so they can charge unbelievably price-fixed rent. That's what actually stimulates the economy. Like these 4 companies making trillions of dollars. That's what really does it, you know?
especially when you consider those companies are people,
They
like
are
legally,
Yeah.
like yeah,
they're
Objectively,
people
human
just
beings.
like us, man.
They have souls.
Jesus died for their sins.
Jesus. I and like I don't.
I'm going to hell for this one, folks.
Yeah. Fucking Monsanto in the confession booth, just like, well, where do we start?
I gave a lot of people cancer.
Like so much cancer, and we knew about it for a long time.
And like what's actually fucked up is like that's not even like the most radical version of my opinion about this shit. Like property, land should not cost money, or the government should subsidize it so heavily that everyone can afford to live places. Because when you have those basic needs provided for you, that provides more money to do what you want to live a fulfilling life, but then also spend money more freely, which again stimulates the economy. This shit isn't hard.
Lucas is normalizing himself by saying we should cancel student loans.
Yeah,
that's the mainstream Lucas opinion. So we gotta dive deeper. Let's find these off the beaten path opinions. Let's go.
I mean, he is right though. I mean, like there's tangible evidence that shows that some of the reason why the economy exploded over the last year and a half after the worst part of the pandemic was over with was because people weren't paying for their student loans, so they had that money to spend on other shit, which made the economy grow. Yeah. Like, and it was obvious. And yeah, I don't want to think about it in the frame of, well, it'll make my capitalism better if I don't have student loans, but that is the world we live in.
I mean, canceling student loans is just the most fucking like backwards way to do universal college education.
Yeah. The 3 of us went to a public university that bankrupted people.
People from out of state that went to our school, like genuinely, will be in student loan debt for the rest of their life. Like it's fucked up.
And again, not a private university.
No.
This is the university of the state, the big one. And just a like good bordering on great school. And as in-state residents, we got the homie discount. And the homie discount is still an absurd amount of money for education.
And I still got fucked over by Republicans. My valedictorian scholarship should have been a free ride, but Scott Walker limited that to $10,000.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
I didn't know this.
That's the limiting it from a free ride to $10,000 is like saying you get a new free car versus we gave you an e-scooter. Like that is such a huge drop off. Yeah, like $10,000 is a lot of money, but not in the scheme of college.
Right. It's like an eighth of your total costs at most if you're doing in-state. That's great.
Bogus.
We love it. Hey, can we talk about Tony Evers being a fucking G?
Oh, dude, that was so cool.
Hell yeah.
That's like what me and Andrew complain about the most about Democrats is how they're not willing to play dirty and like fucking get into the game of politics.
Tony Evers
fucking went goat mode. He went the Michael Jordan flu game, like just pulling out his bag, bro. That was lit. So I don't know. For people who don't know, Wisconsin has a fucked line item veto rule written into our constitution. So the governor can like veto individual letters of bills that are put on their desk and then basically make a brand new bill.
Something else. Yeah, he did Mad Libs.
Yeah, he crossed out
Scrabble.
Crossed out 34 letters of a school funding bill that then guaranteed that they would increase school funding for the next 400 years.
That is king shit, though.
No, it's amazing. It's one of the best things I've ever seen a Democrat do. Like, that is Like that is what Republicans do every fucking day. But the fact that a Democrat is finally like, all right, look, we can't win. Like, let's fucking get in it. Let's see what we can do here.
He took the logic of SpongeBob writing on the dumpster when he saw Squidward smells and writing good to change the whole meaning. He did that with a budget law for the state of Wisconsin.
Yeah. It's fucking gold, man.
Love
And if that's his crowning achievement as governor, I know he's had some mixed reviews so far, then you know what? I think he can walk away happy. If he inspires even one millennial fucking borderline like Roosevelt Democrat to be like, you know what? Maybe we gotta get down in the muck a little bit here, then it would have been worth it.
You're telling me we can win by memeing on him? Yeah. All right, I'm in it.
Telling me we just gotta be not uppity and like, oh, we have more respect for the office than that. And then we can actually get shit done. Wow, shocker. I didn't know this, but Joe Biden is in the silent generation.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Joe Biden was born in 1942. Joe Biden isn't even a boomer.
He was born before World War II ended.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Joe Biden was born shortly after Pearl Harbor. I don't know. Someone just did like an analysis of like American presidents after JFK and how like obviously JFK was the youngest president ever elected to office, so he's an outlier, but like you would kind of expect, you know, it's 4 to 8 years after president got elected, usually they would trend a little younger every time. And like they kind of did until Reagan just completely fucked everything. Like Reagan was significantly older than JFK, who was elected 20 years before him. And it was like, that's where it all went awry. And then suddenly it was just all boomers all the time forever. And then just when you thought it was worst and Trump was like, mega boomer, fucking Joe Biden comes in from the silent generation to just like be the cherry on top. And yeah, it's just another sign of like what you're talking about with the economy and how baby boomers are kind of just refusing to clear space for that next generation of earners in the country. And that next generation in politics is just a microcosm because it's so much more based on like incumbents and not wanting to challenge someone who's an incumbent. So you basically have to wait for a state to flip in order to actually win like a new seat because it's just going to be the incumbent seat for 20 years.
And half the time, even if that state manages to flip, a lot of the time, the next election, it's the previous guy that lost that's running again.
No, of course. But like also when you talk about states flipping, states flip red too. And then it's a Democratic incumbent who's getting ousted by some fucking
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the young politicians are the craziest and the most conservative.
Yeah.
Except for the squad, but they're still not really doing a whole lot.
They're not doing enough. And it's because, fucking Democrats are the kings of the fucking incumbent bullshit. Just like, we're the good guys.
Look at Feinstein.
Yeah, don't vote us.
Still vote us out.
No, absolutely not. I don't know, man.
Feinstein might be somewhat brain dead at this point, and I don't mean that to be insensitive.
I'll be insensitive. Thought we learned this lesson. I don't know. It's pretty easy to do. Just step down when it's politically opportune to step down. Like fucking you're gonna die. Deal with it and don't fuck over millions and millions of other people. I don't know. Sorry, RBG. You were a legend, but god damn it.
But you had been told for years RBG had cancer for a really long time. She had so many opportunities. What, did she want to wait for Clinton to name her successor?
I think that's it. Yeah, no, genuinely. I think she didn't think that Barack Obama had that like the fucking mandate to replace her with someone properly liberal enough or whatever. And she was like, if Hillary comes in, then she'll
Hillary Clinton
AOC
known
will
for
be
being the most liberal of the Democrats.
I mean, not that RBG was like a staunch militant leftist or something, but as far as Supreme Court goes. I guess that's about as good as it's gonna get. Fucking judges, man. We need a fucking like hardcore anarchist judge. It's just
yeah, no, I think we need to put a zoomer in on the
it's like
Supreme Court.
you're innocent because I don't believe this court has any power. Just bam, it's the gavel. Like, ooh, this is gonna get saucy.
I mean, now we're circling like some of my actual most radical opinions, but even if I attach in Minecraft to it, I don't know if I want that soundbite attributed to me on the internet.
When you run for office, it's blunt. I don't think the government should exist.
What are you gonna do as a senator, young gravy? I'm gonna make assassination legal.
I'm gonna install the purge, but like all the time, like a permanent state of purge for forever.
I'm going to install the purge, but it's only legal if they have a net worth over $5 million.
Oh, we're flipping the script. They've been able to do whatever they want with impunity. Now we can do whatever we want to them with impunity. Okay,
we're nailing it. Fucking Senator Gravy of the great state of Wisconsin votes yay on Bill 382 on the Senate floor. All crime against billionaires is now legal. Oh man, the robbery would be out of control.
Who saw Asteroid City? What did we think of Asteroid City? I liked it.
Them too, and there's gonna be a fight.
Oh no.
Ryan, you said you still haven't seen it, right?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Yeah, I saw it with Jade. I was pretty disappointed.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't hate it, but like I was really, really looking forward to this movie. Yeah, because one, I like Wes Anderson, and two, I thought this was gonna be like the perfect vibe. But let's hear the positives first. I want to start out with what you thought was good about the movie.
Oh my, I think that I feel like it is a solid like quarantine film, like a solid living through COVID film, just like the experiences of dealing with that uncertainty and loss in confidence and grief, the kind of grief that I think we all experienced to some degree during the pandemic. I felt like the film captured that beautifully. On a personal note, that was a really good depiction of gifted and talented kids that it didn't at all have their intelligence be a shield from just the experience of being a teenager. That was all great, in my opinion. Ricky Cho, standout. Loved him. The line, I'm going to take you all the way to the Supreme Court and win, rings differently after the Supreme Court rulings, but I appreciated it in the film. And like, I thought that the layers of storytelling that were happening, I found that to be a fun device. I could see how that could come off as a little contrived we're not seeing a play, we're seeing a documentary of the making of the play inserted alongside the actual play.
And like an imaginary version of the play that is somehow separate from the reality of that play itself.
Yes. And then also just, it's a Wes Anderson film. There are a lot of good visuals in that outside of the symmetry. Not direct. Wait, no, I think he was a director. Him getting divorced while being framed as though he is in a box with the label "Fragile, Do Not Crush." That was the perfect amount of too much for me. And yeah, no, I liked it. To me personally, and like the circles I'm running in, maybe the best since Budapest, maybe better than Budapest. I need more time to think about it.
Okay, I was gonna like take it easy on you, but like no shot is this better than Grand Budapest Hotel. I can't. I was like, dude, no fucking way. This, like, I was going to say I didn't hate this movie and it was actually like fairly solid, but it was just trying to do too much. No, this movie was bullshit.
Wow.
It just was. And again, didn't hate it. I definitely don't think I would like recommend it to people. I wouldn't like recommend that people not go see it if they're interested. I think they can form their own opinion. But the movie within the play, within the broadcast, within the movie is like Wes Anderson didn't want to make a movie. Wes Anderson wanted to make a Wes Anderson movie. I just think that it got kind of up its own ass for a while. And yeah, there were a lot of like good character moments that I liked, but the cutaways to like the random shit happening outside didn't really serve any purpose other than reminding you that Wes Anderson built this within a different story, which is just kind of weird. I will say I did like that the things that they referenced in the making of the play that were going to happen didn't happen because since the actor had taken too long of a break, his character wasn't there for them to actually happen, which changed the reality of that story. I thought that was fun. But the alien shot was, I think, maybe the worst and stupidest shot in film I've ever seen. And I've seen some bad things. The alien shot was so unbelievably dumb that it completely took me out of it. And I thought that, because I knew there was going to be a dumb alien scene, like that was the whole point of the movie. I was really prepared for a stupid ass Wes Anderson funny alien thing to happen. This took me completely out of the movie. And the whole Jeff Goldblum is the alien in the alien suit, but also it's claymation. And then the whole, like, you can't wake up if you don't fall asleep. Just, no, that was stupid. Not in a cutesy way. That was just bad.
I completely disagree with you on this. I
know you do.
Reaction.
I could tell that you're going to completely disagree with me. We don't see eye to eye when it comes to this thing.
I mean, if we're going into like entire spoilers, I don't know how you break reality. I don't know how you have like an event that is so, I'm going to use the word alien, that people's perception of reality is shattered, then like the very folky, very weird claymation alien that ship, even the use of claymation to make the alien more alien was good choice there. I sign off on that entirely. And fuck you, Jeff Goldblum showing up playing the alien for one line was a good gag. That was funny. And he's commenting on like, oh yes, well I think the alien represents isolation, like that.
It's dumb. Good. It's stupid.
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
Wes Anderson like really just got in on his own shit, and he's like, "Oh man, it'd be so cool."
I think he's taking the piss
out of himself. I don't think he was. I think he just like tried to elevate it to the next level. And I would not be arguing this hard about it if you wouldn't have said that this was maybe better than the Grand Budapest Hotel. It's just, it's not on the same level. It's just not. Like, even if you really like this movie, which is valid, I just don't. I don't know how you can also be a person that likes Grand Budapest Hotel and think that that might not be as good as Asteroid City.
I didn't say Grand Budapest.
Grow up! Grow up!
I think we have to agree to disagree on this one because, yeah, Asteroid City just... It was like the experience of walking out of... It was like the opposite of the experience of walking out of Across the Spider-Verse with you and Jade, where Maria and I struggled to talk about Asteroid City because what more can you say about a perfect film? Like, that was just... That's it. Like that.
What more can you say about the perfect film? Are you saying that Asteroid City is the perfect film?
This is consistent. This is how Lucas presented it when I showed up at his birthday party. It was like
perfect.
We walked out and we were both like, we can't even talk about this because it's so perfect.
It's a perfect. It is precisely what it is trying to be, and like that is.
I'll tell you how you talk about it. Jade and I walked out of the movie. And Jade looked at me and she said, "Boy, that fucking sucked."
What's the best movie you and Jade have seen this year?
The best movie that you've
seen?
that came out this year
that you've seen this year?
I don't know. We've been really bad about seeing movies the last couple months.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, maybe.
Jesus Christ.
Not the perfect movie. It's not. I still really enjoyed it. What have I seen this year? 2023 media list. Good thing I've got this written down.
Right?
Ooh, it's a bad list. It's a real bad list. But like again, like you and I have very much agreed starkly on media that we care a lot about. Lest I remind you of the Blade Runner 2049 thing.
I threw up in my mouth a little bit there. Fair. Okay. Also, just as a heads up to you two and everyone listening to this, I saw the animated film The First Slam Dunk at Anime Expo. I'm going to be really insistent that everyone who has ever touched a basketball should go see this movie.
It's going to be like cringe though.
No, it gets it. It gets what it's like to play high school basketball. It's really good.
That's what everyone said about fucking Friday Night Lights, and it was awful. Like,
this is better than Friday Night Lights.
It's not a high bar.
But that's the selling point. Is like, it's so similar. And then it can pretty easily fall into the uncanny valley of like, when it's not when it's not American Vandal level, like really getting that source, it just feels so fucking cringe. Because it's like, yeah, like, maybe they're even using the right phrases, but like in the context, it comes off as weird. Like it's uncanny valley shit. You gotta fucking bring it if you're gonna try to be faithful. If you're gonna make it into a farce and a satire and everything, then sure, you got a little leeway. But if you're trying to be like authentic and like really bought in, then oof, it's a high bar.
I found it to be really accurate. I found it down to the point where it's like they never make a big deal out of it. Like they never even call it out, but like there's a character in this movie who like this seems like a dude that like would absolutely have to wear a pair of Jordans to play, and he's just wearing a pair of Jordans. Like it, they get it. They get these characters. They get this person. The trash talk in this movie is pretty good.
That's fair. So it seems though with Asteroid City we have a reverse Blade Runner 2049.
I love it.
Well, yes. Not exactly, because my take on Asteroid City is not as strong as Jade's. My take is this movie had some good parts and some stuff I really, really didn't like. And it's mostly disappointing because my frame of reference are the other movies that this guy has made that I enjoyed the absolute shit out of. And I think that this kind of did that style a disservice. And so I'm not really into the movie, and it's disappointing that way. And Lucas says that it's the perfect movie. Blade Runner 2049 was me and Jade saying, this is one of the best movies we've seen in a really long time. And Lucas saying, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. So not quite the same. Because
is it just that Lucas
that
is more
dichotomy was
is
so
it just that Lucas is more
hard.
Prone to hyperbole? That's my
I am a
only
writer.
question.
I'll admit that.
Yeah, is Lucas more prone to fucking laying
Writers
it on the
have to
line?
master nuance. They can't just be a 1 or a 0.
Lucas
Andrew,
is fucking
I know writers
binary.
that use subtext and they're all cowards.
Yeah, Lucas is binary as fuck. He sees the world straight black and white, no gray whatsoever.
Nice.
It's great. No, Asteroid City, certified fresh. Same with Blade Runner 2049. Definitely not as well reviewed as Blade Runner 2049. So if we're going to use general consensus, because I feel like I'm going to end up in the same position where I can't watch it because there's going to be an answer. There's going to be another.
But you still might fall somewhere in between, like because
but that's bullshit.
It's
that's
not so far
out.
apart. Because if you watch Blade Runner 2049, I really doubt that you will think that it is either the best or the worst movie you've ever seen. If you watch Asteroid City, the range is the best movie ever to not that great. It's not the range of the best ever to the worst ever. Like it's so much easier to fall in that range between where Lucas and I are on Asteroid City.
Oh, Well, no, for Blade. Oh, no, for Blade Runner, it'd be easier to fall in between,
Yeah.
right? Because Blade Runner has a much wider
Or sorry,
range.
not in between.
Yeah.
To fall close to how we feel about it.
I
That's
can
what I mean.
be a less biased judge.
Yeah, because your opinion might be not that great, or it might be pretty good. I really doubt you're gonna think it's the best movie ever, though.
Yeah.
I don't think
Hopefully it
Asteroid City is the
streams.
best movie ever. I think it's a perfect movie.
You said it's the perfect movie.
Perfect
Hey,
movie does kind of
perfect.
imply best movie ever. Like, I feel like best movie is different from your favorite movie. That's for sure. Like, I have favorite movies that I don't think are nearly as perfect as some of the classic films out there that, like you say, do what they're setting out to do, but that means that I don't necessarily enjoy them as much as other movies that maybe took bigger swings and failed in some parts, but succeeded in a lot of others.
I think, like, as a point of comparison, like, and to be clear that I'm not totally immune to this, I'll acknowledge that the movie The First Slam Dunk had some script and pacing problems, but I've never seen a piece of media convey like just how intimidating and overwhelming it is to play against a zone defense for the first time as a 17-year-old. So I'm into
first time zone defense is really popular for like middle school level basketball. You can't shoot the outside shot. That's how you beat a zone.
That's why Berlin's men basketball was ass.
Yeah,
they weren't up to speed.
You've got to.
We were not.
That's literally the phrase, is shooting a team out of the zone. Like, if a team pulls up in a zone, you have to hit your shots, which will then make them leave the zone, because a zone defense objectively cannot like defend. If you do a 5-out like rotation, a zone defense objectively can't defend it because there's always one defender in the middle of the zone. So it's really popular in like younger levels of basketball because people are fucking hucking it. Like they don't even know how to shoot the outside shot at that point. Like, there's no way that the first time you come up against a zone is when you're 17 years old. Like, what fucking country bumpkin ass league were you playing? This is my problem.
Berlin, Wisconsin's
this
league.
is my problem. Yeah, no, y'all, yikes. I got ran off my basketball team junior year because I was told by my coach at like face to face, just like, hey, we like you, like, want you to be on the team, think you're gonna be great. Leveling with you, you're not gonna play. And I was like, oh well, bye. Like, I'm not fucking devoting my entire life for 4 months to a team that you're telling me to my face you're never gonna let me play in an actual game. Cool. See you never. So, and I fucking came up against 1-3-1s, 2-3s, 3-2s, 1-3-1 traps. We had a 2-1-2. That was wild because they had 2 6-footers in 5th grade, which is scary.
Hold up, Brian. I'm assuming you were like 6'2", 6'3", like when you were 16. Not even as a relief guy. Not even as like, we're gonna get you in there so a starter can get like a minute to catch their breath.
No, we had other guys that were better at basketball and also around my size. I don't know. We weren't that good. Like, we were fine. I think we made the playoffs, but like, we weren't like a juggernaut. Like, we had one dude in my grade who made varsity as a freshman. And then we had one guy who came from Milwaukee and just absolutely dominated. Like, he was our star player by a mile. And like, everyone else was just juniors and seniors that worked their way up through the levels, were probably starters on the freshman team and then a starter on JV and then became a starter on varsity as a junior or senior. Like, I don't know. It was nothing special, but yeah, I was told I'm into the bench. I'm not going to play. And I was like, oh, why would you tell me that? And then he qualified it after that with like, and if you do, it'll be because of our stellar summer program that really got you to that next level. And it was like, oh, so even if I do end up like being good enough, you're going to take the credit and say I had nothing to do with it. Cool story, bro. So I was like 6'2". I was a starter on the football team, and they were like, nah, end of the bench, baby. Not an unathletic guy. Probably not the best. I'll acknowledge I wasn't the best basketball player. I was 8. They never gave me a chance, man. In 7th grade, I was on the B team, and it was the greatest season of my life. just being dominant amongst. Maybe that's where I started the whole like video game thing, where it's like, oh, it's fun to be just like stomping the CPU. Just like
Ryan doesn't want a fair fight.
No, I don't. It's more fun when you're
definitely wants to fight under his weight class.
Yeah, they'd send us out to fucking Gale Ettrick Trempolo. And then with the B
the
team.
Hell is that?
Yeah, there'd be some like 5'4" kid with glasses trying to guard me, and just fucking post spins, knocking my baby hooks down, dropping 22 points. Like it's just day at the office. It was fun times. You've never heard of Gale Ettrick Trempolo, Andrew? I'm gonna revoke your Wisconsin card. Gale Ettrick Trempolo. I think it's
somewhere else.
I think it's 3 schools, or like 3 cities that had to combine to make a single high school because they're so small.
Oh, that's why it's just 3 names smashed together.
Yeah, Gale Ettrick
like Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah,
they didn't even try to do it.
Winchester Remington Colt.
Yeah,
the school.
Fucking Elron, baby. No, really quick, because I know we're running really long. Well, you guys were talking about Asteroid City. I was looking through old medical records that I had to get for like news shit that I finally got from like high school.
Yep.
Did you know that like on your doctor's report, when they're like writing about like what you came in for and like all that bullshit, they have like a mood, like they have like disposition. And then like they like fill in like how you were during the appointment. Most of the time mine's pleasant, but I didn't know that they're like evaluating your behavior.
I didn't know that either.
Maybe that was just my doctor. I have no idea. But
I thought you were gonna say some super fucked up stuff.
Like, no, just like mood.
Did you guys know that when you went in for a doctor as a kid, they measured your balls? I got a record on here of how big my balls were.
Yeah,
I remember I got that once. Like I got turn and cough once.
Oh,
like that was
I thought you were talking about measurement, and I was like,
no,
checking for a hernia is different than
or
just
like development issue or whatever. Yeah.
What, dude? What kind of sports program were you in?
What was I had to do that doing? Every single time.
Every single year, you're supposed to get a physical.
That's the reason why you have to get the physicals, is to make sure you don't have a heart defect and make sure you don't have a hernia.
I don't know, man. Berlin rinky-dink operation. You guys, I don't know
we
what's going on in Fox Valley.
I had a different experience.
Lucas's doctor was like super anti-big hernia medicine. Like he's just like, nah, it's not real. Like it's totally fine. You don't even have to check for it. It's good.
Well, like my dad's dermatologist that said there's no such thing as SPF over 30.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
That's negligent.
Jesus Christ.
I think that's a good place to end it.
Yeah, call it.
Well, we can't talk about how I beat The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom AMA.
It's already been 2 hours.
Wow, valid. Okay.
Ask
also,
Lucas
I don't want spoilers.
anything.
Oh, are you still
not done? I'm not done yet.
Okay. Good video game. Andrew will probably disagree, but good video game. No. Thank you all for listening to episode 225 of the Voluntary Viewing podcast, which will almost certainly be titled "Don't Come to Worship Tomorrow." If you like what you heard, like, comment, subscribe, etc. Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Check us out there. ActBlue link in the description. Thank you to our Patreons, Tiffany Cole, Sucky Badger, Sensual Richard Nixon. Join them in supporting us if you're so inclined. Follow us on Twitter at V2_podcast. Follow me at Lucas DeRuyter on Twitter to keep up with all of my writing. But also at lucasderuyter.blueskysocial.com or whatever that handle is. I'm still Lucas DeRuyter on Bluesky. Follow me there. I'm posting more there now because it's better. Thank you all so much for listening. Have a great rest of your week. Goodbye.